Welcome back to the talk tonight. Onondaga County may soon join a list of other counties from around the state calling for a repeal of the governor's new gun law. Not really just the governor's, but it was his idea, wasn't it? Republican County Legislator Kevin Holmquist says the law was passed with more emotion than facts. He plans to introduce this resolution at the next county legislative meeting scheduled for March 5th, although that may already be on hold to some degree. It's a developing story. What do you think? Should Onondaga County get on board? Jim Kenyon's been following this gun story, really, probably more than anybody in Syracuse since it unfolded in January in particular. And what are the developments today? Is Onondaga County going to follow along here and say we're against the SAFE Act?
There was a news conference that the Sheriff's Department held to bring attention to a form that permit holders can use to keep their permit information from being disclosed publicly. And in the course of that, Kevin Holmquist, I asked him about other counties, this list of counties that is growing, calling for repeal of the New York SAFE Act, and he said that, yeah, he'd be in favor of that, and he's going to introduce it before the full legislature.
Before we get too far, let's listen to what Kevin Holmquist said about it exactly.
I don't think there's anybody that is defending the process and the content of the SAFE Act. This law was hastily put together. Nobody read it. There's no public input, no public comment. There's no possible justification as to the contents of this so-called SAFE Act. I believe there's nothing safe about this so-called SAFE Act.
And you know, Jim, you have to believe that the issue of gun control has been on the mind of probably every lawmaker across the state and across the country over the last couple of months. What was the reaction when Holmquist came out with this announcement today?
Well, he says that he's going to take it through a committee process. In fact, the Ways and Means Committee, which meets on Monday morning, is going to discuss it. And the legislature chairman, Ryan McMahon, is quoted already as saying, well, maybe he wouldn't go along with a full resolution to repeal, but maybe amend portions of it that they might find objectionable. But already, you know, you have 29 counties throughout the state that are on record now as calling for repeal. And a lot of those counties are in that upstate area, one of which is Erie County, which represents an urban district.
And you got a hold of this list today. Are we seeing any from downstate at all?
Rockland County seems to be the closest one to New York City. All the rest are spread out throughout the upstate area. And that may demonstrate this upstate, downstate divide when it comes to gun control, at least.
And I guess it may not be so surprising.
Yeah, no, it's not surprising in that respect. One thing that's important to keep in mind, I think, though, is when we look at gun control legislation, we talk a lot about guns illegally being trafficked into New York State, and they often are coming from the states which have the least gun control. So even though people in New York State now are saying, well, we don't want this, it does seem that in general terms, some gun control does help this problem for guns getting into the hands of criminals.
And that would probably be something that would be addressed more on the federal level, which
to even out the playing field.
Yeah, we're seeing with President Obama. But if you look at New York's gun control law and compare it to what the president is proposing, New York's goes well beyond, especially when it comes to high-capacity magazines and the assault weapons and all of that. So, and that is what a lot of people find objectionable. They also find objectionable, as far as these legislatures are concerned, is the process by which this was passed without going through committees or public hearings.
That always is a fiery debate, and we'd love to hear from you. You can leave your thoughts on our Facebook page tonight.
Thank you, Jim. Talk Tonight continues in just a moment, much later.